Hello, I'm Dr. Stephanie Mines, and I want to talk to you about the birth of a new humanity. I also want to talk to you about the incredible incentive we have right now as we are perched literally on the cusp of the Great Turning to be an instrument for future civilizations to thrive and survive beautifully in a climate-changed world. So I'm here to talk to you about multiple topics. One is the birth of a new humanity and how we are instrumental in creating that. Two is climate change and consciousness, our legacy for the earth, an amazing conference that I am privileged to be the vision holder for that will happen at the Findhorn Foundation, the world's longest lasting eco community, April 20th through the 26th, 2019. And I also want to talk to you about my 40 years of work in the field of pre and perinatal psychology and how all of these three things actually come together beautifully and elegantly. So, beginning with the birth of a new humanity, what does that mean? From my standpoint, as a pre and perinatal psychologist, as a neuropsychologist, and as the convener of climate change and consciousness, that means birthing a community of people that will inhabit the world with their brilliant respect for, you might say, the greatest midwife that ever lived, Mother Earth. It also means educating people who want to conceive and bear children about climate change and about what it means to be a steward for the earth as well as a steward for their children. The way that these themes weave together so elegantly has to do with my understanding that in order for us to be ready to fulfill the role of true adults who steward for humanity and for the earth, we need to have brains that are buoyant and resilient. In order for that to happen, we have to clear from the synapses, from the sutures, from the intracranial connections within our brains, the historical residue and burden of early shock and trauma. That has been my personal path as well as my professional path in life. So for 40 years, I have been healing myself of the wounds of early trauma, and I have been mentoring others in that same process with incredible success. So it is entirely possible, no matter what the magnitude of early trauma, and I'm speaking of prenatal trauma and birth trauma, as well as trauma during the early years of life, it's entirely possible to resolve that trauma sufficiently so that your brain literally bounces back. Just like we see around us, the earth bounces back from the way in which it has been abused. So I am so thrilled to have the privilege of teaching others about the resolution of early shock in my various programs and through my books, which you can absolutely inform yourselves about on my website, www.tara-approach.org. You can see there that I've written 5 books and developed an entire training program in the resolution of early shock. That process, however, has not only instilled in me confidence in human potential, it has also taught me that when the brain bounces back with its innate buoyancy from early trauma, we take a giant step from I to we. So the end product of resolving trauma is not only that you personally have a better life, it is also that your compassion is exponentially increased and you become aware of how your consciousness and your activity is a force for humanity, for the greater good. As we look at a world that is literally in the throes of climate change that can be mediated, can be mitigated, but is proceeding at an accelerated rate due to a variety of circumstances. We owe it to ourselves, to our children, and to the earth to prepare for that. That is what climate change and consciousness is all about. And that is why the Birthing a New Humanity collective is partnered with climate change and consciousness, and why I, being who I am, having lived through what I have lived through, have been selected. Not quite sure how that happened, but I know that I cannot resist this assignment I've been given to be the convener, the vision holder of climate change and consciousness, and to spread the word to everyone who is within earshot to not only attend the conference, which you can attend physically, but if you want to protect your carbon footprint, which I encourage you to do, you can participate in the conference through live streaming. And you can visit the Climate Change and Consciousness website, www.ccc19.org, for information on how you can register either to attend or to participate through live streaming. Our vision that is already in the process of being fulfilled is that there will be hubs throughout the world. Thousands and thousands of people will be participating wherever they are in the world, both by their ability to see the events of the conference, but also to dialogue with us in the moment, so that every voice is heard in the emergent process of climate change and consciousness, our legacy for the earth. I want to say a few words about what I've learned as a pre and perinatal psychologist, working with thousands and thousands of people, training hundreds and hundreds of people in how to deliver the TARA approach, the system that I developed. What I have learned, and it's really just fills me with joy to share this with you, is that people, even when they have had really horrific experiences, including conception during wartime, conception in a torturous situation, rape conception, or horrific deliveries, including even oxygen deprivation at birth, that those individuals, when they are guided and mentored in a very easy and simple ways, recover their innate buoyancy. So I'm talking about buoyancy in the brain, in consciousness, in intelligence, in creativity, in awareness, but I'm also talking about buoyancy in the body. So even people who I've worked with who are confined to a wheelchair find that buoyancy. So the message has been delivered to me without question that recovering from enormous early shock and trauma is entirely within our birthright. Along with that beautiful message, I absolutely have as my assignment the gift of putting into the hands of people who want to bring children into the world at this great turning, how they can, in fact, make that conception and that pregnancy and that delivery part of stewardship, how they can not only impart to their children, but also impart to the process of development itself the capacity to birth a new humanity, that is to bring forth into our world those individuals who are going to bring us through this great turning into a time when the earth, as well as we, bounces back from the greed and horrific disrespect that has sought to rape it, to destroy it, to exploit it, not realizing that the earth is our mother, that Mother Nature is a living matrix that waits eagerly to cooperate with us in this incredible movement, this evolution that at the moment appears to be fraught with enormous difficulty. This is a movement towards human evolution, and the birth of a new humanity will carry us forward into a new era, a new discovery of the meaning of life for the children of the future. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to me and to face this greatest existential challenge that humanity has ever known as part of a global community that understands that all children are our children and that indeed we can birth a new humanity.